Oh, holy. I'm tired. What is up, crew? Welcome to the ship. Welcome aboard. Wait, let me get this to the correct slide. Bam. Show a little more of that there booth there. That booth Spacerino. Chat. What's going on, everybody? How goes? It's your boy KLT here, back once again. I need to figure out some kind of like some hook to say or something. It's your boy KLT back on the microphone. Or something. I don't know. Let's do that. So I take up a little more real estate there. Can I go it that way? I can. Bam. Voice box, what up? What's going on, homie? Everybody in the chat, what's going on? How y'all doing tonight? Man, it wasn't too long a day, but it was longer than expected. And I was like, ooh, nice mic. Me? Or that? I know, I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. Yes, I love this mic so much. I live in an apartment, and sometimes the neighbors upstairs or across like to, on the steps or on the roof or wherever they want to do it. And this mic blocks it all out. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. Me? But what's up, everyone? How y'all doing tonight? This is the first night of The Pickup, the voiceover podcast. I wanted to put something together so I can actually, podcasts are a big thing right now, and I know a lot of people trying to get into VO, and I think I'm successful enough to start trying to, I don't want to say like imparting wisdom or like teaching or anything. I'm not doing any of that, but like I can clear up some things for people. And I also want to the main purpose of this podcast is because I wanted to do a couple of things. Like I wanted to you see, when you're going out and you're looking for things to watch or listen to about voiceover, it's always the same things, just with different headings, right? Like you always see the giant named voiceovers, actors and actresses answering the same questions, just with a different group of people, a different organization of some sort. And that's cool. I know everybody's got to get their content in and everything, but I kind of feel like a hot ones, right? Like I want to be able to talk to people and interview them and see where they are and what they're doing. But I also want to ask questions that aren't just like, how did you get your start in voiceover? What is your favorite role? I want to ask, I want to talk to these people, talk to them and see, what it is that makes them happy about doing voiceover, like what makes them tick and what they're really excited about, not just, generic canned questions that, everyone asks everyone all the time. If you go to any webinar or any session where there's a big name voice actor, it's always the same questions. And then, you get the gallery questions at the end. They'll take questions from the chat, and the chat always has the same damn questions too. And I'm like, man, if you would watch anything else, you would know these answers already about this person. So I'm like, I want to do this podcast because one, I want to be able to talk to people in the voiceover industry and get information from them that's new, novel, interesting, and not just what type of microphone do you use? I don't want to do that. That's boring. But also, I want to I want to get the not huge voice actors, like there are voice actors that are up and coming that, are doing really good work, but since they're not like, you know, I love her to death, but like since they're not Jennifer Hale, people are like, oh, well, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're cool. Oh, you do voiceover? Yeah, whatever. What are you in? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And I'm like, so I want to kind of talk to the people that are like up and coming. They're in like a couple of cartoons, a couple of anime, couple of video games, stuff like that. And they're climbing and they want to be the big voiceover actors and actresses too. And I want to just kind of, get tabs on them and see, kind of follow their journey as they're going through to become the voice actor that they want to be. I don't know. Some people might just want to make money. Some people want to be like headliners in, I don't know, like Marvel movies or something. That would be cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they want to hit me up, but that's kind of the reasons for this podcast, those two. And then of course, like the most important reason is just for fun. Like I just like voiceover is really fun to me. And I realize that the more I start talking to people that aren't in voiceover about voiceover, you can see their eyes glaze over and they're like, yeah, yeah. It's called a what? Oh, okay. Cool. Why do you need this source connect? So you can connect to the source. Cool. And it sucks trying to talk to people that are just that you can see are clearly not interested in whatever you're talking about. But like, and then when I get with some of my voiceover friends, like we'll get on Discord and play League together and whatever, and I'm like, man, I get to talk to people that know what I'm talking about. This is great. And then we just go off and talk about stuff, and it's great. And I'm like, man, I could do this for hours. Why don't I do this for hours? And so that's why I decided to do a podcast. Are you still accepting guest applications? Not at the moment. I got way too many. Let me tell you, I started this up just like, this would be a fun thing to do. Maybe like a couple of people say that they want to get in on it or whatever and come and talk. But holy Lord, that sign-up sheet exploded. The first night I went to bed and woke up and I had to shut down the sheet because I was like, there's no way I'm getting to all of these people. And like, man, it was nuts. It was nuts. So like the interest is definitely there. And so I think that doing this is going to be really good and really cool for the people that want to, like me, they want to talk with other like-minded people, or for the people that are just getting in, or for the people that are in, but they're trying to, find that little edge to push them forward, et cetera, et cetera. It's for the people that just, we just really want to talk about voiceover. We love doing voiceover. We love doing voiceover work. And, we just want to share time and talk with other like-minded people. That's pretty much the point of it. So that's why I started this up. It's going to be just super casual, super fun. I'm not some organization that's going to, be getting sponsored by Chaotica Eyeball and handing out free stuff. I wish that would be great. But this is just going to be super fun to, just talk with people, with like-minded people, see where people are, see if I can't help people or if people can't help other people that are watching. And so that'll be fun to see what happens on that. Glad to see there's so much interest. Yeah, man, it was unreal. I did not think that people were going to be that interested in me doing the VO podcast, but looks like a lot of people are interested. A lot of people are interested on being on the podcast. That's for sure. We'll see how many viewers we get and how the interest of watching or listening to the podcast will be. What's up, Renjin? I almost said your government name. For those that don't know that are new to my stream, I try not to say people's government names because I don't want people, getting stalked or whatever, or how people do it. So I won't say your government name, Renjin, but what up? What's going on, bruh? But yeah, that's kind of the basis of why I wanted to start doing this and just the point behind it all, right? Like, it's not just me just wanting to talk into the void. Like, there's actually there's actually a little point to it. But yeah, as you were saying, it's my baby right here. It's what gets me all the big bucks. It's what gets me a couple bucks. Gets me a couple bucks. It's bad. I thought my alarm was going off. My alarm is not going off. But yeah, so I guess I can break down just like an about me, because this is the first time some people may or may not know about me or my voiceover journey or whatever, I can wax poetic about my learnings and all that. But so, I mean, just my basics about me. Like, I've come from, growing up, I was always like an employee. I was always a worker. I was always I worked my way up in management and like every, just job that I got. I started at call centers. I worked my way up to call center management and was opening call centers. And then I was like, this sucks. Like call centers just kind of steal the soul from you. And then so I started going back to college. And then so I worked at the college that I went to. And then I worked my way up there from a work study into like a senior coordinator there. And was working with like students and disabled students. And I did that for like 7 years. That was awesome. But eventually it was time to move on. I wanted to do other stuff. I wanted to move and see the world. So I left that job to go. That's when I moved to Japan. I moved to Japan to finish my bachelor's degree. So I lived in Urawa, which is in Saitama, Japan, which is about an hour and a half north of Tokyo. So that was an amazing time. We went out and partied way too much. Probably should have done a lot more studying, but it was still fantastic. But then did that, came back to the U.S. and finished my degree in global politics. So I actually have a politics degree, but I have no interest in using it because if you've seen U.S. politics, I don't know where you are or where you live, but United States politics is not something that I want to be involved in probably ever. Like right now, for sure not, but definitely not anytime soon anyway. I got into global politics because I wanted to work at embassies. I wanted to travel the world, work at embassies, and do foreign and diplomatic relations between the U.S. and other countries. And stuff started happening where, well, first I finished my degree and I joined the Peace Corps. So I joining the Peace Corps, I moved and lived in Albania for 2.5 years, which was awesome. So living in the Balkans and on the Mediterranean and going up and down there and all that stuff, seeing all the things over there. Had met a lot of great people there, and being in the Peace Corps was just an awesome experience. I loved it a lot. But then when I came back, I kind of got back into the same thing. I was just, doing the same old. And I was like, what did I do all this stuff for to just, come back and do all the same old stuff, same shit, different day. I guess I can cuss. It's my stream. Same shit, different day, right? Like, I never changed anything. I was like, what am I? I'm just the rat in the wheel. So I decided after 2 years living in Denver that I decided, if I'm going to have fun doing the things that I want to do in my life, like I can't be stuck just, doing the safe stuff. I've always done what's safe for me. Like, I've managed government agencies. So like I can always just, well, things are getting hard. I'm just going to go back to the government. So I always became lazy and complacent, and I just gave up on a lot of the stuff that I always wanted to do. And voiceover was one of those things that I had always wanted to do. Growing up as a kid, you're told, yeah, that doesn't make money. You can't do that. You don't make money doing voiceover, blah, blah, blah. So I never thought about it for a long time. But then when I came back from Albania, I was like, I see people making money doing this. Like, people are making money and finding a way to make a living doing voiceover. It might be hard, but, maybe I can try and do it. And it just so happened that one of my good friends was at the same time about to do the same thing. He was like, I've decided that I'm getting into voiceover. I'm about to move to LA so I can do this thing. And I was like, what? I'm about to get into voiceover. What do you mean? Wow. Let's talk. So we got to talking, and I just was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna do voiceover. I'm gonna start doing it. So I decided to start taking some classes. Took some classes with Edge Studio. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a voiceover studio in New York. They do a lot of online classes. So I did like a bunch of like introductory and like learning through them. But like I did that, and then there was actually also at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts when I lived in Denver. They had some voiceover classes from some people that were in the voiceover industry there. And so I took some classes from them, and I was like, yeah, I'm really getting this. I'm really getting this. So I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really push this. So me, the genius I was, well, my friend that started with me at the same time, he decided to move straight to LA, and I was not. I didn't think that was a good idea for me, so I decided to not move to LA. I had some friends down here in Texas, so I came and visited here a few times, and I was like, okay, you know what? I can move down to Texas. Texas is doable. So I decided to move down here to Texas. Now I live in DFW. And so I saved up, it was probably about 10, 11 grand from work, and I just up and quit. And I said, you know what? I'm moving to Texas. And of course, my director at my government agency was like, no, seriously, what's going on? And I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm just doing the same old again. I kind of gotten complacent, and I'm going to do something that I want to do. And she's like, no, really, what's going on? But so I up and quit, and I left my secure, comfy, well-benefited government job to come down here with about $10K in a dream, and I'm really quiet. Am I really quiet? Boop, 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 boop. How about there? Am I really quiet here? Am I really quiet here? How about here? Is that good? Is that good? Is that good? Good, much better? Okay, you hear him just fine. All right. Yeah, so I was saying that's when I decided to move down here to do VO. Digital DR in the chat was my roommate that I came down here and moved down here and lived with. He's my friend that I was coming to visit I was coming down here to just visit, but then I was like, you know what? If I do this voiceover thing, Texas is a great spot. So I might as well just move down here. So I told him I was going to move down here. We found an apartment, and it was great. But as you would think, I hadn't even been in VO for like 2 months, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to move to Texas and do VO. It's easy, no problem. It's just going to fall into my lap, right? I mean, who can't do voiceover? Didn't work well at all. Ran through my whole savings in about a year, and I was at the point where I was like, well, damn, I got maybe like 2 jobs throughout the whole year, and I was like, maybe voiceover sucks, and I'm gonna quit doing it. So I was gonna quit doing voice. I almost quit year 1 and just gave up on it because I wasn't making any money, and I honestly shouldn't have been making any money year 1 because I wasn't ready whatsoever. I was on pay-to-play sites trying to do stuff, and I was not to the level where I needed to be to get money. So yeah, I almost backed out of VO completely by the end of year 1. Well, it was probably about almost the end of year 1. It was about February 2020. So yeah. So I was gonna quit doing VO. Got a job with my friend at his workplace, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to work and stop being dumb and trying to make voiceover work because it's not going to work for me. And, you know, he and a couple of my other friends were like, you haven't even been doing this a year. Chill out. Like, try and, you know, maybe give it some more time. Maybe. We don't know. And I was like, nah, that's dumb. It doesn't need time. I should have it already. I should have what I want already. And so I had to give up that idea that I was supposed to be immediately successful. So I got that day job, and the day job literally was just money to put into voiceover. So basically my checks came in from my day job and I would go to a class. And the check would come in from the day job and I would make a demo. And the check would come in, aside from paying rent and everything, of course, but like it's all just been money. Like I still have my day job currently, and it's all just money to funnel directly into VO. So like it bought my mic, it bought my interface and my programs and everything, and so it was good. I learned a valuable lesson about just jumping into VO like an idiot, and that's something that I can help people with if they if they have the same dumb ideas as me. I can maybe push them aside a little bit and be like, hey, maybe not yet. Maybe give it a while. But yeah, so that was my first year in VO. First year was pretty hectic. I was doing audiobooks just to try and like make it. And audiobooks, I do not like audiobooks. You say follow your dreams, but it's like I would say VO is not really okay, I will say that VO leads to my dream. The reason I got into VO is because I always wanted to, I love traveling. I love I'm like, everybody always calls me a hippie because I always move everywhere and I don't have stuff. Like I don't buy a bunch of things and keep it. And I always just pack up a bag and I move to like, I don't know, another state, another country, doesn't matter. I like being in different places. So voiceover itself per se isn't the dream. The dream was the reason that I got into VO, and the dream there is to be able to move to and live wherever I want, whenever I want. I'm to the point where I am done. Like I hate like, you know, like job, like the whole job thing. Like I've got to ask a boss to do all these things and I've got to check in and clock out, and I can't go anywhere if I don't have enough vacation time. If I'm sick, I can only be sick so much, and I'm sick of all that. I'm to the point where I'm like, hey, I want to have the money to do what I want when I want to do it. And if I say, you know, I want to go over here for a little while, then I'm going to go over here for a little while. like my next goal before the end times, before the pandemic started, I was going to go to Thailand and live there for like a year or two, just because I want to go live in Thailand. It would be dope. But, you know, could you imagine like having a day job and being like, hey, I want to work remotely. I'm going to move to Thailand. Is that cool? They'd be like, what? And I don't have time for that. I'm over having to beg for, you know, things that I want from a boss or our boss's boss or someone that doesn't even, I don't want to say contribute, but, you know, like, you know how higher ups can get? And the higher up they get, you know, like, I don't even know what you do. We don't need you. And you're like, oh, all right, cool. Like, I don't want to be to the point where it's like, man, I depend on this job for everything. If I lose this job, my life is over. I won't have a way to pay for food or utilities or like, I don't want to do that anymore. And when I'm ready to pick up and go somewhere else because that place looks cool, I want to pick up and move somewhere else because that place looks cool. Like, that's what VO was about for me. It's not like VO's not necessarily the dream. I wasn't always like, oh my God, I want to be in this and I want to do this. Now that I'm doing VO, yes, that would be awesome. I would love to do these things. Like, I really want to be in Mass Effect. I want to be a Disney villain one day. That would be dope. But, like, that wasn't the initial reason for me to get into VO. The initial reason was for freedom. I want my freedom. And with VO, I can pack up my mic. I can just get a laptop, and I can do VO from wherever I'm at the moment. It's great. So that's the reason why I actually got into VO. Like, I really am. Yeah, that shit is for horses. Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm just so done with it. Like, I'm done with having like, and day jobs just eat so much of your time doing stuff that you don't want to be doing. Like, I have no passion for like, all right, I got to put these numbers and digits in a spreadsheet and calculate and pull this number over and blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, look, 8 hours of my day is gone doing whatever. Like, I'd rather be doing something that I enjoy doing, something that's fun, something that's making me money for 8 hours. That's great. So, like, full-time voiceover would be great. It would be freaking great. I'm not quite there yet because I'm an over planner, and I want to make sure that I'm at a very specific level of income with VO first. People say I'm crazy, but it is what it is. So that's the goal, like, to be able to go full-time VO whenever I want. I don't have to, but if I want to, I can. That's the goal right now. So 40 hours a week is so much time. Yeah, just 40 hours thrown away to what? Something you don't like, something you don't want to be doing whatsoever, something you have zero interest in. It's just soul-sucking. It's just soul-sucking. And it's like, if you're not doing something, I know a lot of people say it's like the cliche, like, love your job and you'll never work a day in your life. To a point, that's true, though. Like, it's not, you don't need to monetize everything that you do in your life. Like, if you love, like, I don't know, if you love doing jigsaw puzzles, you don't need to find a way to make money doing it. Like, come on. But, like, if there's a skill or a craft that you're good at that you can monetize, that will give you freedom in your life to do what you want when you want to do, then it's worth taking a look into. Like, it's worth trying to maybe take a step back and say, okay, is there a way that I can make money doing this and replace my daily income and do this full time instead of me going to this soul-sucking job at Kmart where people are yelling at me because the register's down? Like, you know what I mean? Does Kmart exist anymore? Wait. I don't know if Kmart exists anymore. If it doesn't, insert random store here. I like my day job a lot, but enjoy VO more. Currently trying to deal with the lack of motivation after getting home from 8 hours of work a day. That's true. And if you like your day job a lot, that's great. Do them both. Find a way to do them both. There's plenty of ways to do them both. I do my day job and I do VO right now because my day job is in esports. And esports is awesome. I love esports. I watch every game every day anyway, so I'm like, now it's like my job to do all this so I can keep track of stuff and, connect with teams and everything. But, like, if there was something where it was like, look, we're not doing esports here, you need to go and, like, go to the marketing team and start putting together ads and flyers, I'd be like, no, dog, I'm out. I'm out, bro. I'm not interested in any of that. So I'm gonna take a bounce. More than that, to be honest, I wake up like 2.5 hours before I go. Exactly. Like commuting. I remember when I used to manage call centers, we were opening a new call center just even up in Denver. It was just up in Denver. And so I lived in Colorado Springs, and I would have to drive 45 minutes to an hour up to Denver every day to open this call center that we were opening up. And I was like, man, I can't imagine the people that drive 45 minutes to an hour each way every day, not just like I was just doing it for like 2 months to open a call center. There are people that do that every day of their lives. Like that is just awful. It's just abysmal. I can't even fathom doing that. But there are people that do it, and I mean, you do what you got to do. But I would I would make finding something else a priority if I was doing that. Like when I lived in Japan, it was okay because it was in Japan and like Japan's great. My commute to like school and home was probably about an hour and a half each way by trains, and man, I didn't care. It was great. I did I did it every day. It was fine. But like now, if if my work was like, yo, we're moving to I don't know Austin, and you've got to drive to Austin home and back every day, nah, Doug. Nah, bro, I'm out. I'm out. Even if they were just like Plano. Plano's like 40 minutes from here. I'd be like, nah, Doug. Nah, bro, I'm good, man. I'm good. That's a distance. I don't want to lose all that time every day, every week, every month, every year. So voiceover was a way for me to really reclaim my time as well. So like getting to just like waking up and getting into the booth and coming here and just be like, yo, start auditioning. And auditions, you do auditions. You might do 20 auditions and it might take 4 hours and your day of work is done. Like, man, that's great. And you're having fun doing it. And if some jobs come back, then you get money. That's awesome. It's freaking awesome. So, like, you can take a break whenever you want. You don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. All kinds of stuff. Man, working for yourself is amazing. Um, but yeah, it's just there are just so many reasons why I'm really making. Like I said, I still have my day job and I don't do VO full time because I don't need to, but I'm getting my VO to the point where if I do need to, I can do VO and take care of myself no problem. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's 100% of the reason I'm in VO. Um, more than that, Kmart is dead. Rip. Oh, sad. That's a good point. Time getting ready for work. Yeah, get up. You know, like sometimes I just get up, brush my teeth, and start recording. Like I don't gotta cook breakfast. I don't gotta like I could jump in the shower after I'm done doing auditions, like all kinds of stuff. It's great, man. It's great. Fantastic even. Lunch breaks not counted. Oh, I could take if I want to take a fucking 2 hour lunch because I want to go to lunch with some people and say what's up or like hang out somewhere or go somewhere far away, I can. Because my job is my business is my job. I do whatever I want. I'm the boss. That's why voiceover is great. Like if somebody was like, "Hey, let's go out for like a coffee and talk about some voiceover stuff." Cool. I don't have to. Hey, can I put in some PTO to do this? Yeah, you know, it's not real. How much time do I have left? Oh God. Yeah, I don't have time for that. Oh, it's a blackout date, so we can't take PTO because everyone else is out, and we'll have a slam. I don't. No. If I want to go somewhere, I can go somewhere. It's great. Lunch breaks, I counted it that 4 hours, 1 hour isn't really my time. It's not your time. Yeah. And in between all that, the sleep and taking care of shit that needs to be taken care of, left with such minimal free time. Yep. Because it's like after your 3 hour commute and your 8 hours of work, that you've done 11 hours, and then what? So you get home. We'll say you get home 8 to 5. So we'll say you get home at 7. 7. What do you go to bed at 10 or 11? So you got 4 hours to do any and all the things that you do, and then it's back to work for another 8 hours the next day. You're spending more time at work than you do with like your friends or your family, or that's dog shit. That's not how I always used to tell people when I used to manage. They would say, well, these people need to be more excited about their job and blah 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 blah. I was like, no, like people are working here and seeing us more than they see their family. That's not fair to them. They don't want to be here. They don't need to be more enthusiastic. Like, we should be happy they're doing the job at least. That's it. But, you know. But, yeah. So yeah, I got into voiceover to have that freedom. I need that freedom in my life because sometimes I sometimes I get the bug and I just got to go somewhere. And then I just stay wherever I go. I don't know why I do what I do, but yeah. Um let's see. I can jump to that. Yeah, we'll jump to how was my experience dubbing for Funimation? Um, so, like I said before, I'm a big nerd. I like anime, video games, cartoons, all that stuff. I watch it all anyway, so it's cool to be in it now. But yeah, so dubbing for Funimation was I I had auditioned for a role with Funimation back in April. Like it was the beginning of April or the end of March, something like that. They didn't call us back until the end of July. It was like, hey, you got this thing. I was like, huh? I got what? I didn't do anything. Um, but yeah, so it took a while to get notified that we got anything. I didn't get the roles that I auditioned for, um, but that was because I wasn't really aware. I had not done anime yet, and I don't know what they're looking for in auditions or whatever. Now I do, so I should be able to book some better stuff. But so I didn't book the roles that I auditioned for, but they gave me another role, like another a little Phil character, and I went in and did that, and it was dope. It was so much fun. I just kind of went in and did it. I just was like, I'm just gonna do it however I want, and so when I got on the headset, I was doing it with Jade Saxton, and so she was like, "Have you ever done this before?" I was like, "No, not for money." She's like, "What does that mean?" I was like, it's I've done it in classes, but not like as an actual job. And she's like, "Oh, okay." So we went over a couple things. The first line that I had, I accidentally forgot to read the the anime effort sounds. I kind of skipped over it and just went into the talking. And she was like, "Yeah, you know how to do those?" So I was like, "Yeah, the all that mess." I was like, "Yeah, I got it, I got it." So so we went back to that again, ran through all the stuff, and like it went super smooth. Like if it's lucky, I'm lucky that I knew what I was doing already by that point, just in voiceover in general, because the like Funimation was empty. They're in the middle of moving. I don't know if they're still in the middle of moving. They might have moved all the way by now, but they were in the middle of moving when I got there. And like no one was there. The building was empty. It was just the security guard and the it was just the security guard and the producer. And then he was like, "Hey, all right, here's your booth that you're going to be recording in. Here you go, have a good one." And he just left. I was like, "Huh? What do I what do I do in here?" No one else was on the premises. Period. So like, I just went into the booth. I closed all the doors. I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm just going in." So I put the headset on and started talking, and then we ran through it. But I was like, "Man, I could see this being like frightening for someone not like as I guess confident in themselves as me, like for there to be no one there, like it was like the empty building, like no one to like talk to you or anything, and they were just like when as soon as I put on the headset, they were like blah 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 blah. Okay, go, and then we just started going like immediately. There was no like build up, there was no talking to it, there was no like getting used to each other or anything. It was just go. So I could see other people maybe having like a hard time doing that. But luckily for me, I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I've done this before. I just haven't done it like professionally. So now I'm doing it professionally. It's the same thing. So I didn't have a problem with it. So it was cool. I really liked it. I can't wait to go back in and do more. But hopefully I won't have to go back in because we can do remote stuff. Everyone else was remote but me, so hopefully I can just be remote next time too because I have the capabilities. So we'll see though. We'll see what happens. But like like the job that I just did, I just got back from today. I actually had to go down to Okrochan, and they're in Plano. So like I said, that was pretty far away. I had to go way over there, and it was just me and the engineer and I think that was it. Everybody else was remote, so we just jumped on, and I was like, man, if we're doing this remote, I could have did this from home again. Like I got the stuff, man. Just tell me. But yeah, so it was just us. And the second I got there, like there was a power issue and the AC went out. So we were stuck in Okratron with no AC, and it was like 94, 95. So we were just hot. It was just hot. We were so hot. I was like, oh no. So like we were dying the whole time, but we made it through. It was that's the reason I was late tonight, because it was a 3-hour session that we had booked, but we were like, okay, it's not going to take 3 hours, but that's just the minimum. So we got in and started doing it, and we're like breezing through. I'm killing it, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, and we've got this additional thing for what you're doing, and we're going to add that on now. I was like, yeah, okay. So we added that on. So it took the whole 3 hours for us to finish today, which is cool. That's what we got booked for and everything. So we were right on time. But man, 3 hours in like a hot building with no AC, and I'm moving around like I was screaming, I'm efforting, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Man, I was hot. Man, I was hot. I was a hot mess, as they say, or as they used to say. I don't know if anyone says a hot mess anymore. Yeah, it was an experience, but it was it was so much fun. It was so much fun. This is I've done everything that I want to do in VO but trailers. And so all the things that I get to do are just so much fun to do for me. Like even the normal stuff, like this morning before I went to session, I had a corporate narration to do. So I was reading that for my agent. She sent it to me, and she was like, I need this real quick before you go. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did that read, cleaned it up, sent it to her, and she was like, dope. And then I went. So I was working all day. But yeah, it's very different coming from here in my nice, comfortable booth to go to a hot building in Plano. But it was definitely worth it, man. It was so much fun. Got to meet some new folks. Got to work with some awesome directors and writers. And I can't wait until this thing comes out, man. This was amazing. So when this drops, it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be so dope. I can't wait until I can show you stuff. But that's the problem with VO. That's another problem with VO. It's like you do stuff and it doesn't come out for months and months and months. It's like careful, the spiky walls are closing. I know. I'm like, I'm looking at one like here, and like the like glue is starting to come off of it, so I gotta go glue that back up tonight before it slaps me in the face. But yeah, this has been. So I'll tell you, we put Digital DR and I put this all together, and he helped me put this up and get this all set up in my closet. And I will tell you that this alone has helped me not only land like so many jobs, but also land all the agencies that I'm with, because they, so like Mary Collins in Texas, for example, they were like, okay, well, we'll get on a Zoom session with you and we'll talk to you. I was like, you gotta get on a Zoom for that. You gotta see me and talk to me and all this stuff. And I was like, man. So I was scared. I didn't know what they were going to ask or what we were going to talk about or whatever. So the Zoom session starts, and as soon as the camera turns on, they were like, oh, you got a professionally treated area, and it looks great. It sounds great. You've got this microphone. Okay, yeah, we're good. I'm like, Oh, all right. Whew. So we just talked a little bit, and they were like, "Yeah, we're good. Let's sign you up." I was like, "All right, dope, 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 dope." So so just doing this alone, not only has it like helped the sound, of course, like it helps the sound tremendously, but like when I show people like pictures that I have of this, or like I tell them that I have, a professionally treated sound treated area and everything, they're like, "Oh, you do? You're not just recording in like under a blanket in your bathroom?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, I got stuff. I got stuff." And they're like, "Cool." So I recorded like a little sample of my studio sound and sent that over, and they love it. So but yeah, this putting this up was definitely the right call to start doing all the other stuff. I wish I'd have done things in a different order when I first started VO, but now what's done is done. So but now I'm where I am, and I'm doing some good stuff, man. I'm doing a bunch of work. Like I said, I just came back from this session today. That's gonna be outstanding. I can't wait to share it. But that's one of the things with VO. You'll do something, and then it's gone for months, and sometimes you forget you did something, and then it comes out and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's me." That's me. I did that. Um, because like I'm in an animated series, and we recorded for that. We're still recording for it, so we've been recording the whole time. So I have session after session after session after. So we're still going, but we started recording for this series in May, and it's still. I'm not going to go any further into what it is, but yeah, we're still working on it. So so I'm like, man, sometimes stuff comes out quick. Sometimes stuff takes a very long time, and lurking to support while you D&D. Nat, thanks for the lurk. Enjoy the D&Ds. Man, D&D. Get into. You guys should play Starfinder. Let me teach you the gospel that is Starfinder. Starfinder is so much cooler because it's sci-fi. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but yeah, like VO stuff it's really hard to not talk about because you're so excited about it, but you can't talk about it because it'll break NDA, and then you'll be canned forever. So like, there's probably 4 things that I've done right now that are already done, and then another one tomorrow too. And I don't know how long it's going to take for all of this stuff to come out so I can share and be like, "That's me, you hear it, that's me." So I just kind of got to sit on all of it forever. I think they were saying for like for Apex, for example, like Apex Legends, like some people have had to sit on them for like years, or like a year, until the thing comes out. And I'm like, please God, no. I hope to never have to do that ever. You like swords more than phasers? Well, I mean, not everyone can be right, right? Um, but yeah, I'm kind of just rambling now. Um, I was just kind of trying to give an overview of who I am, what I've been doing. I guess I could say, like, in voiceover, my focuses are cartoons, animated series, video games, commercial promos. I want to do trailers. I would love to do movie trailers. That would be the coolest shit. Just to hear my voice in a movie trailer, man, that would be amazing. Um, but then, yeah, I used to do audiobooks. I don't particularly like audiobooks, so I probably won't do them anymore. But there is an audiobook that I did, and the writer wrote a sequel. So if she wants me in the audiobook again for the sequel, then I'll do it. Um, but what else about me? I've kind of like I said, I kind of just started doing VO just because that's what will give me the freedom to do what I want and give me my time back. Like let me have control of my life. I can do VO from wherever I am, and VO is fun. Like this, it's not the grindy 9 to 5. I can grind out auditions in 4 hours and have the rest of my day to myself. It's amazing, but that's just me. Everyone has their own reason for getting into VO. Um, I am, I'm still at the point where people say, "Oh, you do VO? What are you in?" And I'll tell them all the stuff that I'm in, and they're like, "Oh, you're not like an anime pro tag yet." Mm. I was just talking with the engineer at Okrachan about that. How they're like, how sometimes they'll tell people what you do, and they're like, "Oh, but you're not in anime." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm in more stuff than anime, and I'm in anime now. Like, what do you mean? Leave me alone." Give me some credit. And they're like, once you're anime pro tag, then maybe. I'm like, all right, whatever. So that's always an uphill battle. Trying to be accepted for being a voiceover artist without being in the thing that they want to hear. But it is what it is. We can't try and climb to things to meet other people's expectations. We climb to the things that we want to do because it's for us. I don't do VO for other people. I do things for me because I'm like, man, this thing is cool. I want to do this, and I go and try and do it. So like auditions are great. Um, and I guess I'll say one additional thing since we're at 58 minutes already. I've been yakking. I've been yakking. Um, One other thing I'll say is that, man, if you're trying to get into VO and you don't have an acting background, I don't have an acting background either, but I hear very often that how I've learned to do VO and like now I'm being successful and I'm great at it and whatever. It's not always the case. There are some people that have a hard time getting into the acting part if they haven't done acting before, so it might be a little uphill for you if you haven't. Um, so just take your classes, classes. Like I keep saying, like the pandemic sucks. It's awful. I hate what it's done to everyone and everything. But the one positive that has come out of it for VO is that all of these things that would never have been available to any of us outside of LA are now available to us outside of LA. So like all these classes, all these agents taking people in, all of these auditions that people are getting, and the chances to do different things in VO that we would have never seen ever if we didn't if we lived outside of LA. Like you don't have to live in LA right now. This is the perfect time and the perfect opportunity for people to start taking classes with LA like studios and other actors and like other big names and stuff because everything's online right now. So if you want to start getting into things, start taking some classes, getting some workshops. You can do coachings and one-on-ones with people in the industry and stuff like that. Make sure you're vetting who you who you do coachings and classes with, because everybody's out there just trying to make a buck. When I first started in VO, the thing that people told me the most is that a lot of the people teaching classes are the people that can't land auditions, so they teach classes to make money instead, and I've seen a bit of that. Like I don't knock anyone for their hustle, you got to get paid, but there are some people that are not as enthusiastic about teaching VO to other people as other teachers are. So just vet who you're taking classes or coachings with. Talk to other people in the industry that that are successful and say, hey, where did you go for your classes and coachings? And like, who did you talk to? What should I do? Stuff like that. And of course, as I put at the top of the screen here, I want to be a voiceactor.com is like the resource that we all tell people. Everyone always has the question, how do I be a voice actor? I want to be a voice actor. How do I be a voice actor? Go to this website. Like D. Bradley Baker put together a website with pretty much any question or answer you can think of about VO. And he was just like, here it all is. Here's all the stuff. He updates it regularly. He answers questions on there, like all kinds of stuff. It's got everything that you need to, pretty much everything you need to get started. I don't know exactly what's all on there now because like I went through the site when I first found it, when I first started in VO. And so I've combed through it a bit and I found the things that I needed to find, but like there's no way I read that entire site. There's so much stuff on iwannabeavoiceactor.com that like there's no way that I can go through the whole site and like actually get like everything from it and know where everything is categorically. There's no way. But it's an amazing starting resource. It's an amazing starting resource for voiceover, for people that want to start doing voiceover. Helps you kind of think about what you want to do in voiceover, like what genres you want to focus on and whatnot, or if you want to do multiple, stuff like that. I want to be a voiceactor.com is super good for all of that type of stuff. It's good for all of those beginning questions that you might have if you've never done VO before, or if you've like dabbled in it or something and you have questions. Check that site first before you start asking people. Like we've all heard the same question over and over again. And anytime somebody asks me like voiceover questions, if it's not incredibly specific, I send them to this site. Like this site has so much info and so many resources on it that it's just like, this will help you more than I could. So check out the site. If you have any questions on that, that will give you a good path to start on. But let's see. It has been an hour, 3 minutes. Damn, it looks like 12 people in here. Dude, I was only going to go an hour. If anyone in chat has any additional questions, I'll answer them. But if not, I'm going to actually eat some food finally because I haven't been able to eat because I've been running between sessions all day. Want to play games? Yeah, we can play games after I stuff my face a little bit. I don't know what we will play tonight, though. Tomorrow night is community game night. Oh, so I guess that'll be a segue into that. I'm going to, so like I stream games here, video games. I'm like a variety streamer. So I'll be playing video games here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday night is community night. So I have a bunch of people that that we're friends with. We're going to jump online and play like community type games like Sea of Thieves, Raft, like all kinds of other junk. So feel free to stop by. Panda, Hefe, yes, you are both late. You are tardy to the party. Well, I guess that's my fault too, because I was tardy in the first place because that session ran. Well, the session ran the exact amount of time that we had scheduled. So, but so right now I'm just kind of doing like Q&A. If anyone has questions about stuff, about me, about VO, yada yada, and I was giving the spiel that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, I stream video games here. Tuesday night is community night, so we'll be playing like community type games. So feel free to stop by and watch video games on those days. The pickup is the name of this podcast, so it's called The Pickup. It's going to be every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And so I'll do the pickup for an hour, And then the next week will be with an actual guest and not just me. This was just kind of the opening to get all the kinks out and see what I want to do and how I want to put stuff around and see how stuff is working, make sure that all the tech is good. But next week I'll have an actual guest, 7 p.m. Central Time on Monday. Don't know who the guest will be yet. I'm going to talk with some of the people that submitted and see who wants in. But yeah, that'll be next week. How do you be a voice actor? Funny you should ask, Panda. If you visit the site above, it's called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. You would want to visit that site, and it has all of the information you would ever need to becoming a voice actor. You never submitted, but you'd be down to come on? Oh, yeah. I thought you was just like, fuck his podcast. I ain't coming on there, man. It was scrub podcast. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, if you want to come on for show, you're just shy. You are get that out. You are not shy. But yeah, for sure, I'll have you on. Like, there are, of course, this being my podcast, like, I'm going to be incredibly super biased with who I bring on because I got a lot of homies in VO, so I'm going to bring the homies on first. And so you would be one of the first ones probably, along with my original VO crew, if they want to jump on. But like I have a few crews that I will be bringing in. So different people, different frames of minds and point of views, because like I said, my point of view is going to be different than everyone else's because I didn't get into VO because I love VO. I got into VO because I want freedom in my life, and VO gives me that. But like some people might be like, man, VO is like the most amazing thing, and here's why, and they might be super interesting. So that's why I wanted to bring other people on, just kind of talk with folks and see what makes them tick in VO, how they're doing, how they're coming along, how their career is going, what they're building up to, what they're working on presently, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I will say that the one thing that surprised me about every single person but one that submitted to being on the show is that only one person that submitted has an agent. And all of them are working. They're all doing like paid gigs and like jobs and stuff like that. So I'm just like, some of them have been like 2+ years, 5+ years, 10+ years, no agent. And I'm like, what? Like, why not? I wonder. So that's going to be like a big question that I'm going to ask a bunch of people that submitted, because I want to know like, what's the holdup? But that will be when I bring those people on. Arenju Usagi. Love the first episode. I'll be lurking about for the other days. Mondai nai. Arigatou gozaimasu. It's fucking insane to hear a lot of the old guard not having agents. I don't know who counts as old guard to you, but I mean, like, people that, to me, I've been it. Wait, who is Arenju Usagi? Do I know who Arenju Usagi is? Old guard at Funny. Oh, okay. I got sidetracked. My bad. Yeah, it's weird to me because, like I said, I just hit 2 years in VO in June. And like, if I got my first agents, well, I got my first agent like when I first started, because it's a Colorado agent. I was from Colorado, so I was just like, hey, I do voiceover. She was like, all right, yeah, whatever. And then, so she took me in. But like, I've actually been booking for her, and she's like, oh my God, Mike, you're great. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, yeah, she's the one that I had a job for this morning before I had to go to the session at Okratron. So she was like, she called me and she was like, I know you're leaving, but I got this job that just came in. I need you to do it real quick. I was like, all right, cool. So I did it, and then I sent it back to her and whatever. But so But yeah, to me, like I've been in for 2 years, and now I have too many agents. But I'm like, how? I don't. I guess people have different goals, and that's why they don't have an agent yet. I don't know. I don't know, and I can't wait to bring some of these people on to ask them why they don't have an agent. Because that to me, I was like, if you're doing VO and you want to do more VO, isn't that like it's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but like to get the bigger, better jobs, that they all come through agencies. So, Orange Usagi, nope. Oh no, I don't know you. Okay, okay. I thought because like my favorite color is orange, and there's someone I talk to very frequently that uses an Usagi as her little emoji when we're talking. So I'm like, maybe this was something that they put together, but okay. Anyways, that's irrelevant. They just shrug and say, "I just know enough people who give me work." Yeah, yeah, pretty much. That's what I was just talking about with people down at Okra. They were just like, yeah, some people were just like, yeah, this person knows me at Funny, so they just give me work and that's it. And I'm like, cool, I guess. Like, I want to do other stuff though. So like, anime is cool. I can't wait to do more anime, but I want to do other stuff too. So I needed an agent. Now I need a not a better, a bigger agent, a higher level agent, so I can actually get like promo stuff. Like I took a promo class the other day, and the guy was like, "Man, this is you're doing this and this and this is great and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Cool. How do I get more promo work?" He's like, "You got to get it with a big agency." So I'm like, "Shit. All right." So I gotta do more work. Yeah, L.A. Yeah, I gotta do more work to put on my resume. Or I don't have to do more work. Just this work that I've done already has to come out, and then I can go and try and pitch myself. But yeah, I have so much stuff that's still not out and under NDA that I'm just like, ugh. So we'll see what happens. But that's the plan. I need to get another LA agent, and then try and then see if they actually have a promo department, and then actually work with them on promo stuff. That's the only goal. That's the next and only goal. And then so when I do promo, like my last VO goal, like my last huge VO goal is just to do a movie trailer. So if I can do a movie trailer anytime soon, I said by the end of summer, which is next month, so I'm not going to make it. But like I did everything else. I mean, a video game, anime, like other stuff, like all the other boxes that I had are checked. But movie trailer is the only thing I won't be able to do. So, well, I mean, I won't say I won't be able to. It's highly unlikely that I'll do a movie trailer by the end of September. So, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the goal. Bigger LA agent. Get some sleep for tomorrow. That's a good idea. I'm gonna go get some food for today because I was hungry. I hungry. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you got about 30 seconds to put them in the chat before I call it. I call it a first episode, and yeah, I'll prep for the one next week and community night tomorrow. But yeah, otherwise I would be normally once it's finished, I would go and play some video games and stream that. But like, man, today was so long and I didn't have time to do anything that I'm starving, so I'm gonna go eat and probably just watch YouTube and chill for the rest of the night. But normally I would be playing games after this, but just not tonight. Tomorrow again we're doing community night, so a bunch of us are gonna jump on and stream some games, have fun, hang out, and just BS. And Wednesday, Friday is just regular game night, whatever I want to play. Until next week, Monday, when we do the pickup all over again. But that's it. Thanks everyone for stopping in. We got a lot of folks in the chat tonight. Hopefully the one next week will be even bigger. This was pretty fun. Me just rambling on about VO stuff. And next week I'll get to ramble on with someone else, so I'm not just talking to myself. That'll be fun. I laughed too hard. But yeah, that's it. I will see all of you guys tomorrow on stream if you want to stop in. Otherwise, I'll see you all on Monday. Peace out and go read something. Do some auditions or something. I don't know. Find something to do with your time. Peace.